Damn.
What's up, guys? So we've got a little different install video today. We've never done anything to do with soundbars. I've never had a soundbar. I had a little stereo system in the last YZ, and it was like the SSV in-dash setup with just some overhead speakers. It was it was enough for me. I'm not looking to party up on the mountain, but I do want something, you know, when we're cruising around. I like listening to music, so. Anyways, I figured a soundbar was kind of my best bet. If you haven't seen, I'm running like a tablet for my main control center or whatever that I'm using. The backup camera on it, I'm going to use it for nav. And then I'm going to control like my rock lights and stuff that I haven't done yet. And then I'm going to control music with it, I hope. So I hope everything works out. But yeah, it's a Powerbass XL-800. And it's got like its own little control center right here. It's actually upside down, but I'll tell you guys why I'm doing it that way. But anyways, Powerbass XL-800. So from what I've heard, it's a pretty good sound bar. I got it from Bluegrass Powersports in Kentucky, and they've got, you know, a lot of accessories. They're dealers for a bunch of different companies. So if you guys need anything from them, hit them up. They'll get you a good deal on some stuff. Other than that, it comes with these little brackets. They're like L-shaped brackets that are made to like mount to a cage.
Almost like a light bar bracket too.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it is. But I mean this thing's serious. Like it blew my mind on how heavy it was. But it also comes with these little guys here. And in my scenario, they're not really going to work out, but I have heard that people mount the soundbar by these, which I don't think it's going to work out for me, but
show them what they do. Yeah,
they go in here and they slide in this little slot. It's not really, it's just got some coating on it. Oh my god. Anyways, they slide in there. Yeah. It'd be cool to mount like a light bar or something else to it. You know, if that worked out for you. You could shine it backwards or whatever. That's what I was thinking, just getting like a foot long light bar or something, because I'm gonna put this right behind my head, and then it could shine back as like a reverse light. But unfortunately, I don't think it'll clear the height of my other stuff. So I don't know, just a cool little design though to be able to add these things onto it. I know they have different brackets and stuff that like wrap around the cage and bolt into here. I'm going to try and make it work with just these brackets and go from there. This thing's stuck in here now, so go back that way.
Yeah, and for anyone else, grab one of those brackets.
Oh, it's bolted to it.
Oh. Well, we were curious because this Can-am has like a, I don't know, 3-inch tube.
Yeah, I think it's
2-inch?
I believe.
Well, it seems huge. But the brackets do fit over it, so you'll be able to either A, through bolt it, or B, self-tapper it.
Or C, you can get the right clamps that they sell. I know that's like the preferred method, so you don't drill into your cage or chassis or whatever. I think that's the route I'm going. May it not be the right way to go, I don't know, but I don't see it being an issue. I mean, there's holes all over this thing anyways.
Do those clamps work on any size piping, or do you have to just get them for each?
Yeah, I think like you can buy different size ones. I haven't looked into that too much. I just went with whatever came with it for now and see if I'll make it work. I've seen people go up here, and I think they go up here and they mount it like off a little bit. And I mean, I think they do that because the cage mounts go around this size pipe, but I'm not positive. I don't know why too many people don't choose this route, but I don't know. Maybe they do. I didn't look into it too much. Just so much stuff to look into when you're buying accessories for a new machine. It's overwhelming, but hopefully it's legit. We'll definitely let you guys know. The one thing I have heard and looked into was, I guess these things draw power if you just wire them directly. And they actually gave a little note saying the same thing. So they say to either put it on a switch, or in our case, I think I should just be able to wire it to the accessory post. And it should be good. I don't think I've got enough stuff on there yet to where it'll be an issue like drawing too much. So it's a 30 amp circuit on the accessory post on the Can-am. If you look in the fuse panel, you'll see it's a 30 amp fuse that feeds it. So I think I'm just going to go to that, so that way it's only on with the key. I don't really park and like listen to music, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. If you have a switch, you could run a switch. I don't have a switch for it, so I'm just going to go this route for now. If I have any issues, I'll probably throw on a switch. And I mean, that would be kind of cool, but that's what the plan is for now. So it's got this like quick connector, which is pretty freaking cool, I think. It like screws onto the actual light bar. It's a nice connection, nice cabling.
Waterproof too.
Yeah.
Looked like it had O-ring in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty legit. I don't know much about this side. I didn't actually read the instructions, but I gotta assume this is for maybe an amp wiring cable or something. That's like a freaking Ethernet port.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't really know what that's for, but I'm not too in depth into stereo. Just going with your basic soundbar is what I'm shooting for. Maybe further on down the road I'll expand on it, but I highly doubt it. I mean, it's just not really my thing. But yeah, I'm excited to get it in there and see how it sounds. Hopefully it's loud enough. My goal is to where like if you're cruising at like 40 or 50, you know, if I ever get that fast even, which we don't do very often, but I just hope that it's loud enough going those speeds that I can hear the music. Other than that, we're going to get to the install. I just got to choose whether or not I'm drilling through and through bolting it, which would be solider but more holes in the tube, or self tap it. I don't really want to wait for new brackets, so it's one of those options.
Yeah, so you guys will obviously know, because we'll jump back to that once we just figure out how we're going to install it, and then stick around and it should be playing some music today.
Yeah, we'll be bumping. Bumping some royalty-free music, probably.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, on this thing,
Junk.
You guys have seen enough videos of us working on and changing diffs at this point. So we didn't want to make a full video on it, but Billy wants to start fresh with a new diff, so that way he can, I don't know. Alright, yeah, so you want to explain to them kind of why you're switching your diff. I know it's got a hole in it, so that's one obvious reason, but as far as, I mean, it still functioned, right?
Yeah, so the diff still works fine, and it blew at s'more. So I think, I don't know.
That was May of 19.
Yeah, so it blew at s'more, chunked it out, and I don't know how many trips we've been on. So we've been to...
We went to the cliffs right after that.
Cliffs.
With your dad.
Yep.
Then, not to mention it made it like a day or two at s'more.
Yeah, right. It happened in like the middle of s'more.
So then we went to the cliffs, and then I think after the cliffs we went, I believe it was all the way to Windrock. I don't think we rode in between there. That was our big...
Yeah, I think so. But then I did borrow my machine out to an old coworker, and he rode it trail riding up north. So he put a couple 100 miles on it, I think, but not really using 4-wheel drive, so it's just in 2-wheel drive. But even in 2-wheel drive, it still spins a front diff. So they did that, and then we did our Windrock trip, and then we had one more trip after Windrock. We went to the cliffs again. So
and we took it up north on that trail when we explored your property too.
And that one too.
Which wasn't too much, but still just...
Yeah.
I mean.
So the way these work is they spit the teeth out. We don't know how, diff lock, not diff lock, mystery.
Yeah, the spider gear teeth.
The spider gear teeth just strip, so it still worked just like your normal diff, but I wouldn't run it in 4-wheel drive because obviously there's teeth missing on the spiders. So if you just ran it in 4-wheel drive, it'd be, when that tire slips to this one, there's gonna be some point where it's gonna miss that tooth because it's gone, and it's gonna really like slap the next tooth and probably really break stuff. So I would just go straight from 2-wheel drive straight to diff lock, And what that would do is it would lock it in, hopefully on good gears, and then I would just kind of shimmy reverse and forward to make sure it wasn't like a clunk, like it was, you know, spinning or missing, like it was still on 2 teeth versus just 1 and then a half. So I was running like that. So like the cliffs this last trip, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just getting old. So you get there, you know, 2-wheel drive, it was kind of snowy and icy and shitty. 2-wheel drive wouldn't really done much. And I don't have the 4-wheel drive option where it keeps my good steering. So that's why I just decided it's time to just get my 4-wheel drive back and have a diff that operates like normal, so I don't have to use diff lock all the time. And another thing to note is I've been running diff lock so much, I feel. So before we went to the cliffs, this was the second time that my steering rack bolts loosened up. So I think just with the added stress of on the steering and all that.
Being full locked. I mean, full locked anything is
it's
way harder on steering components.
So that's the second. I mean, there's literally one bolt missing. All the nuts are broke off the back of the frame. It's a mess. But it was the second time that my rack was about to fall off. Happened at
Windrock.
Yeah,
because you tightened it in the parking lot. Which I don't think we got to that in the video. It was just kind of one of those, oh shit, my steering rack's loose. And then yeah, when you pulled it in here before we went to the cliffs to change the tires to the bighorns, you noticed it was loose again. Yeah, and it was, I mean, that could kill you. Yeah, especially on the mountain and Windrock. But yeah, here's the carnage. But yeah, I mean, surprisingly enough, that thing still worked.
Yeah,
like normal.
No oil in it, nothing. No fluid. It's that hole's right in the bottom of it. There's been nothing in this diff for a year, and it still works like normal. So take it as you will. And I don't know, maybe, you know, I'm pretty sure it hasn't broke again. So I don't know, like I was thrashing this diff in diff lock again, but it doesn't break and chunk more teeth out. It's fine, but I'll put this brand new diff in, and probably first ride it'll chunk and huck it out the case.
I mean, we make it out to be really bad, but we have had bad luck with in a hole. But this is the original diff.
Yeah, this has 3,000
from your machine.
Yeah, this has 3,000 miles on it.
So
granted, the first 2,000 were pretty easy. I mean, it was like racing.
Yeah.
You know, trail riding, fast paced.
Normal people riding, most likely.
Yeah.
But and what the machine was pretty much designed for. But in a sense, I mean, it does have diff lock. So I mean, they knew you were gonna thrash it somehow if you're putting diff lock in it.
Yeah, but diff lock without it tuned is limited.
Well.
So, I mean, there is that.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah,
but
we're tuned, so there's no limitations on it.
So I mean, take it for what it's worth. He's had good luck. We think. I mean, I think. On diff usage, I guess I'd call it. Like, this thing was beat for a long time before this blew.
Yeah, and I've still only broken one axle too.
Yeah, which is crazy. So, but on the whole other end of the spectrum, you know, I blew a diff. I think just one. Yeah, I blew one diff. Josh blew 2 diffs. Ethan with the blue 19 YXZ, he blew a diff in like 100 miles.
Yeah.
And
also did Josh.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, there's been a lot of them.
And a guy from TCB Offroad, he also blew one.
Yeah, Keith, the guy we rode with at Windrock. Yeah, he blew a diff. So, I mean, there's been a lot of diffs. So that's kind of why we haven't changed them, because there's really no fix to it. So that's why him and Josh.
It's $800. I mean, I bought a brand new 19 diff. I don't know, the part numbers changed, but I only presume it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan still blew his, so it's got to be pretty similar anyways. I don't know, so just giving you guys the scoop on that, and we'll get back to the install on the soundbar. Alright, we got the soundbar mounted. We ended up drilling through this bottom roll cage. It's actually not part of the cage, but bottom bar on the chassis. Maybe that's not the preferred method, I don't know, but that's the way we did it. It seems really legit. I don't see how that would really mess with the structural integrity much, but I don't know. The thing's solid. Shouldn't have to worry about it breaking or anything like that. And then it's got like this quick connector wiring harness that we talked about earlier, and I ran it down through here and went right down behind like this intake or whatever that is, and ran it across here, zip tying it to that perfect, zip tying it to that roll cage bar, or not roll cage, but the chassis bar, I don't know why I keep saying that, and then I ran it down through here, and you'll see it right here. I zip tied it up there, ran it down, routed it around, and then I went through, I guess, this back wall or whatever between the motor and the cab in the same spot as like all of the wiring down here. And that's it, coiled up right there. Coiled it up, zip tied it up, and then I wired it to the accessory post, which is on with the key. There's a couple different ways you could wire it. You could wire it to a switch, and then, you know, have the switch hooked up to the battery at all times, but then you'd have to make sure you turn the switch off every time. Supposedly if you just wire it directly to the battery, it drains the battery over time even if it's not on. I've read that, and there's a little note that came with it. So I didn't go that route. I went on the accessory post. I don't really plan on having it on much when the machine's not running anyways, so it didn't seem like much of an issue to me. Other than that, I think that's it. Sounds pretty good. It's solid here. I don't know exactly what length these bolts were, but they worked out to be pretty good. I think it looks good too. I mean, here's a front shot at it. And plus, so some people mount it up to the bar up here, I've seen, up to this bar. But I chose this way because eventually I will cage this machine, and this bar will stay. Once it's caged, it just gets removed from up, you know, here this way. So I shouldn't have to rewire this, I hope. I don't know. There is some bars that tie down into it, I think, but I'm not positive. I think they go from here to here, like on the new cage. But I don't know. I haven't really picked a cage yet either, so it's kind of up in the air. Other than that, I think we're good. I'm gonna find some music and turn it on for you guys. I know it's not really gonna do too much since it's hard to tell from in here, but we played with it a little bit, and I mean, it's really loud. I mean, I'm happy with it. Any thoughts on it, Billy?
It's dope.
That should be.
I'd recommend it to anybody looking for a
Stereo. I mean, it's loud.
Yeah.
So like, even like, I was standing, we had the garage door open because the machine was running, and with the machine running and me standing 20 feet behind it and it's facing forward, it was still like really good, you know, really loud. So I don't know, I was pumped. It was super clear, even at full blast.
Yeah, that was one thing that was really impressive. We had it cranked all the way up to see, you know, how loud it was. One, I couldn't even, with the shocker wide open, so for some of you guys that know how loud the shocker is, yeah. I couldn't even hear my exhaust with it open, and the radio was cranked all the way up, granted. But, I mean, I couldn't hear Billy talk, I couldn't hear anything, so it's really loud. And even at that volume, it was crystal clear, which was really impressive to me, so.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, so I mean, the bass is low. It doesn't have much for bass.
Yeah. But
I didn't expect bass anyways, and I do believe you can wire in an amp and a sub and whatnot to this, which then, I mean, I feel like that'd be a pretty ultimate combo if you were after that. But for me, it'll definitely get the job done. Hopefully it holds up. Hopefully it lasts. It's supposed to be a good brand, so yeah, I mean, we'll get it fired up and do a couple sound clips for you guys, but that's about it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. All right, we got the machine running, backed out of the garage. We're gonna throw on some music. It doesn't really do much justice for you guys because it's hard to tell how loud it is, but it definitely is really clear. I think we talked about it last night, but it got pretty late, so we want to end out the video today instead. But I don't know, the only thing I will say is it'd be cool to add like their little controller that they do sell, because every time, so I wired it to ignition power, so every time you start the machine you have to hit the on button in order for it to sync, which in this case is behind me. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I think it's only like 25 bucks for the button that you can mount on the dash. But you can skip songs, change the volume, everything without, you know, trying to look back while you're mobbing down the trail. So that's really the only complaint that I've got so far. It's not much of a complaint. I didn't even know that it had, like, that you could order one of those when I ordered it. But other than that, it sounds really good. So we'll play a little bit. So, like, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's like half volume.
Yeah, I'll just.
All I want is silence just to clear my head, but I can't even get it. Why I got a bag?
And this will be wide open.
And I ain't gonna feel bad for success that wasn't given. If you talk behind closed doors, your room is full of bitches. My household hold a savages, some savages.
So then I'll open the shocker, and I don't know how this will turn out on film, but I was just like, when I'm in the machine, I can hear the music over the exhaust, which is, in my opinion, pretty impressive because it takes a lot as hell. America.
Footsteps walking on my front porch. I can see it on surveillance while I take a shit as soon as I roll out my
I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. It sounds like it's going to be good. We're loading up to go ride tomorrow, so I mean, stay tuned for the next video. You know, I'll mention it in that video. I won't get into it too deep, but definitely let you guys know how I like it. But where we're going, it's slow crawling again for the most part. So, you know, I know it's going to be good for that. There's no doubt in my mind. It's really loud, and I'm sure it'll be great for high speeds. I mean, I don't do much of it, but I really think it will be. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. Got some more stuff coming, more big stuff coming on actually, I don't know if we showed it yet or not, but if you guys seen what happened to Josh's YXZ, let us know what you think about it. If not, stay tuned for that. It'll be pretty sick. Ticky's got its new diff in, so that thing should be happy. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned, like, subscribe, let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys.